Do you ever feel like someone else is pulling the strings on how you feel? You know, like you're a puppet and someone else is controlling your emotions. Well, you're not alone. I think we've all been there at some point or another. And it's a really frustrating feeling, isn't it? Like you're trying to be in control of your own emotions, but somehow someone else is dictating how you feel. But here's the thing, you don't have to let others control your emotions. You have the power to take back control, to be the one pulling the strings. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to share with you 5 key strategies to help you stop letting others affect your feelings. These strategies are going to empower you to take control of your emotions and live a more fulfilling life. So let's dive right in. The first strategy is all about self-awareness. You see, when you're not aware of your emotions, you can't control them. You're at the mercy of whatever happens to come your way. But when you're self-aware, you can recognize when you're feeling a certain way, and you can take steps to manage those feelings. You can say, "Hey, I'm feeling angry right now. Let me take a step back and figure out why I'm feeling that way." Self-awareness is like having a superpower. It allows you to see things from a different perspective, to understand why you react a certain way in certain situations. And when you have that understanding, you can start to make changes. You can start to respond to situations instead of reacting to them. And that's a really powerful thing. When you're self-aware, you're not a slave to your emotions. You're in control. You get to decide how you feel, how you react. And that's incredibly freeing. So how do you cultivate self-awareness? Well, one way is to practice mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and just observe your thoughts and feelings. Don't judge them, don't try to change them. Just observe them. Another way to cultivate self-awareness is to pay attention to your physical sensations. When you're feeling stressed or anxious, where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it in your shoulders, your stomach, your chest? When you're aware of your physical sensations, you can start to recognize patterns. You can say, "Oh, I'm feeling that knot in my stomach again. That means I'm feeling anxious." So, let's move on to the second strategy, which is all about boundaries. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, boundaries? That sounds like a pretty boring topic. But trust me, it's not. Boundaries are essential to maintaining emotional control. They're like a protective shield around your emotional space. When you have healthy boundaries, you're not letting others dictate how you feel. You're not letting them walk all over you or manipulate your emotions. Boundaries are like a set of rules that you follow in your relationships. They're like, this is what I'm comfortable with, and this is what I'm not comfortable with. And when you communicate those boundaries clearly, you're setting yourself up for success. You're saying, I'm in control of my emotions, and I'm not going to let you affect me. But boundaries aren't just about saying no to others. They're also about saying yes to yourself. They're about prioritizing your own needs and desires. So, how do you set healthy boundaries? Well, one way is to identify your limits. What are you comfortable with, and what are you not comfortable with? Another way is to communicate those limits clearly. Don't be afraid to say no to someone, even if it's uncomfortable. When you set healthy boundaries, you're protecting your emotional space. You're not letting others dictate how you feel. You're in control, and that's a really powerful thing. Moving on to the third strategy, which is all about emotional detachment. So, have you ever felt like someone else's opinion was like a weight on your shoulders? Like, if they didn't like something, you felt like you'd failed somehow? That's because you're too attached to their opinion. You're letting their opinion dictate how you feel about yourself. Emotional detachment is about creating mental distance from others' opinions and actions. It's about not taking things personally. When you're emotionally detached, you're not riding the emotional roller coaster with someone else. You're not letting their drama become your drama. So, how do you cultivate emotional detachment? Well, one way is to practice observing rather than absorbing. When someone says or does something, observe it from a distance. Don't take it personally. Another way is to focus on your own reactions rather than trying to control someone else's behavior. You can't control how someone else feels or acts, but you can control how you respond to them. When you're emotionally detached, you're not at the mercy of others' opinions. You're in control of your emotions, and that's a really powerful thing. The fourth strategy is all about self-validation. So, have you ever sought validation from someone else? Like, you did something, and you were waiting for them to tell you it was good? That's because you're looking for external validation. You're looking for someone else to tell you that you're worthy. Self-validation is about seeking validation from within. It's about knowing that you're good enough, regardless of what someone else says. When you're self-validated, you're not relying on others to make you feel good about yourself. You're not waiting for their approval. You're in control of your emotions, and that's a really powerful thing. So, how do you cultivate self-validation? Well, one way is to focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. When you focus on your strengths, you start to feel more confident. Another way is to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, just as you would a close friend. When you're self-validated, you're not at the mercy of others' opinions. You're in control of your emotions, and that's a really powerful thing. The fifth and final strategy is all about proactive responses. So, have you ever felt like you were reacting to situations rather than responding to them? Like, something would happen, and you'd just react without thinking? That's because you're not being proactive. You're not taking control of your emotions. Proactive responses are about responding to situations rather than reacting to them. It's about taking a step back, thinking about how you want to respond, and then responding in a way that aligns with your values. So, how do you cultivate proactive responses? Well, one way is to take a pause before reacting. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and think about how you want to respond. Another way is to practice mindfulness. When you're mindful, you're more aware of your thoughts and feelings, and you can respond in a way that's more thoughtful. When you're proactive, you're in control of your emotions. You're not at the mercy of others' opinions or actions. You're the one pulling the strings, and that's a really powerful thing. So, to summarize, the 5 strategies to stop letting others control your emotions are self-awareness, boundaries, emotional detachment, self-validation, and proactive responses. These strategies will empower you to take control of your emotions and live a more fulfilling life. Remember, you don't have to let others dictate how you feel. You have the power to take back control, to be the one pulling the strings. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. What are some strategies you use to take control of your emotions? I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next video.